Hi friends, this is Johnny back with another video, and today it is time for another fever dream. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this one was one of my personal favorites when I was younger. I want you to think computers. I want you to think VR. I want you to think giant foreheads, you know. I want you to hear and know what I'm talking about, okay? Today we are talking about Code Lyoko, a true cult classic because there are a lot of people that don't like it and there's a lot of people that love it. So let's just jump right into it. Roll the intro. We open up on the ace reporters of the school trying to report on the preparations of the prom. However, they start off with the camera being flipped upside down, and then occasionally they'll just pan away as the reporter's talking. So I feel like ace reporters is a strong word, but I love the confidence. They try to interview the school nepo baby Sissy, who turns them down because they're not real reporters. Meanwhile, her lackey's over there assaulting the camera woman. Girl, let's be honest, like a real news team is gonna interview you about a junior high school prom. You ain't special. Our intrepid reporters ask, what about freedom of the press? To which Sissy says this.
What about freedom of the press? Oh, Millie, little dipsticks your age don't have any freedom, understand? Anyway, who needs your dumb reporting? What do you know? Besides, you've got a problem. Don't forget you have to have a date, and I don't know anyone who'd want to go with a jerk like you. Even them. I'll bet if you asked them, they'd run like scared rabbits.
Who needs them? There are lots of other boys.
Oh, yeah? What are you waiting for, then? Try and find one.
Which are real tough words coming from a girl whose forehead is reaching for the heavens and has a Vegeta-ass looking hairline, okay? But go off. Acting like this poor kid is a jerk just for doing a job that a teacher probably gave her. The real jerk is the girl that felt the need to say all of that simply because the girl's like a year or two younger than her. Like, this bitch really said,
No twinks allowed. No twinks allowed. No twinks allowed.
to this like 5-year-old, okay? And also, why would the press need a date to an event that they're covering? That doesn't really make sense to me. You would think you wouldn't want them to have a date so they can focus on the job, but okay. But she's kind of backed into a corner and forced to ask Ulrich to the dance. Unfortunately, he has to politely decline because he already has a date to the prom. Notice how I said politely, okay? Notice how I said politely, because we're gonna get to that in a minute. Sissy continues her completely unnecessary tirade by saying this.
You see? What did I tell you? But don't worry, Millie. I'm sure you'll find a boy for the sandbox dance. Meanwhile, why don't you go play with your dolls?
And I'm like, girl, calm the hell down, first of all, okay? And I'm like, girl, calm the hell down. You're at most like 2 years older than this girl. When you get a little older, you're gonna realize that you were just a kid there too. And you were just pretending to be an adult. And being a royal brat because your daddy works at the school. We then meet Jeremy, the world's first VTuber simp, and Aelita, the world's first unwilling VTuber. Why unwilling? Because she is trapped in the computer in a digital world known as Lyoko. Thus the name. They're currently discussing how to get Aelita out of the computer into the real world so that they can turn off the supercomputer that runs Lyoko and permanently destroy the evil Xana, who is the main bad guy of the show. By the way, Xana is able to attack in the real world. However, he doesn't seem to know like what level the stakes should be when it comes to attacking in the real world, but I'll get into that later, okay? We cut to our reporters Millie and Tammy. Millie's currently crying from Sissy's bullying and Ulrich's rejection, and Tammy is comforting her like a real friend. During that conversation, Millie goes to a really dark place, and Xana gets his voyeurism on by watching the hate flow through Millie like a Sith Lord.
Oh, it's a waste of time. Better face facts to Mia. They don't care about us or the newscast. Oh, I hate them, all of them. I hate every single one of them. I hate everybody in the world.
You don't know what you're saying. It's just
Oh, stop it. I'm sick of you too, so just leave me alone.
Hey, it's true. Ulrich could have been a little nicer.
And first off, girl, where are you running to? That was your room. And secondly, Tamia, what in the hell are you talking about, girl? First of all, he apologized. Secondly, he explained that he had a date to the prom already, who was, by the way, 3 feet to his right when your friend, hit on him. So, I feel like he was very polite about it. In other situations, that could have gone wrong. Not just because of him, but because you did it in front of the girl that he was going with. So all things considered, that went pretty smoothly, aside from Sissy being an asshole. He politely declined and apologized. How much nicer did he need to do it? Was he supposed to find her a date? We then get this scene where Millie talks to her definitely not possessed bear that she's so close to she hasn't even named yet.
At least you don't care how old I am, do you? We understand each other. We're not like those dumb older kids who always want to run things. They think that because we're young, we don't count at all. If for once we were older, a lot older than them, they wouldn't laugh at us, would they?
Millie? Are you in there?
And girl, how many times does Millie come here that Tamia knew exactly where to find her right off the bat? She's like, Millie, why do you always go to the old garden shed? And Millie's like,
oh, no reason. Me and my bear just like to come here and be around all this sharp gardening equipment whenever we get bullied, just to cool off.
Yes, Millie, lie to her. She can't know our plans. Kill them all. Drink the blood of the school. Start with Tamia. I wish for a human vessel. And she knows the location of our hideout. Also, can we get some of those little cookies you brought the last time? They satiated the rage momentarily.
but after that, she leaves her bear in the garden shed for some reason, where we see Xana possess it. So if it wasn't possessed before, it's definitely possessed now. It might be double possessed, honestly. But that still confuses me, because Xana's like an evil computer virus, right? So I get him possessing and interfering with things like tech, vehicles, electronics, hell, even people, because we're basically supercomputers, okay? But a stuffed bear? How? What is there to infect? We then see Sissy bully her goons.
Sissy, we thought... Yeah. Take this advice. Don't think. It doesn't suit you.
Girl, what was that? Her ass was really feeling her Kristen Stewart in Twilight fantasy, okay? And why the hell are you rude to your entourage? Like, without them, literally nobody likes you but your father. How much fun is school gonna be if nobody likes you? We then get a very prolonged clip of a half-naked Sissy getting ready for the dance while also still talking shit about other students and calling herself the star and the diva of the school. Girl, I don't even like you. The delusion is strong with this one. She has major main character syndrome, which is even funnier when you take into account that she is a supporting character. Like, she's not even one of the main characters. We then see somebody skulking around Sissy's room, which is very obviously the bear, which then knocks things off of her shelf, scaring her half to death, causing her to run out of her room half naked, which I'm still not showing for obvious reasons. We see her and her father open the door and step out, surrounded by a crowd of students, including our intrepid reporters, who say this.
Move along, back to your dorms. Everything is just fine.
Looks as if we got ourselves a super scoop.
Which, like, girl, what scoop? They literally stepped out of the building, you snapped a pic quick, and then said that. You don't even know what happened yet. No one has said anything. I'm not even sure how the crowd got formed. Our gang of heroes go to Sissy's room just to make sure that Xana wasn't involved, which, can I say, they think he is involved in everything. Computer update moves some things around. Xana. Someone turned off a light. Xana. Someone sneezed. Xana. They are so paranoid. They're right, but they are so paranoid. But they look at the room and they say this.
What do you think?
A simple short circuit. Too many appliances plugged in at the same time.
Yeah, the hi-fi, lights, lady shaver, curling iron all together. What do you expect to happen?
I'm sorry, we saw the same room, right? Doors were smashed, posters were ripped, the room was in a state of chaos. A short circuit ain't gonna do all of that, okay? Go with your first gut feeling. It was very obviously Xana. Millie and Tamia were happy because Sissy really had that shit coming. But oh no! Millie's unnamed bear's gone! Jim, the gym teacher, he was really named for that job. It was one of those things, you know what I mean? Like a carpenter with a last name Carpenter. It happens naturally. But Jim catches them in the shed while they're making the realization that the bear's gone and kicks them out because students aren't allowed with sharp, rusty equipment. Imagine that. We get this interaction.
I
I hope I've made myself real clear. Entry forbidden. Access reserved for adults.
With you, everything is off limits.
Now, you listen here, huh? I would change the way I talk if I were you, little girl.
Little girl? Okay, I'm young, so what? It's only big kids who can say what they think, huh?
Ah, so you think you're real big kids. Okay, that's fine. News report or not, the two of you are grounded for tonight in your room.
Which, first off, I mean, it makes sense that kids aren't allowed in there, both for their safety and the safety of the school. And he's clearly told them this multiple times, apparently. And she's just mad because she has to follow rules that are there for her safety. So she's just coming off a bit like a brat, honestly. Not as big of a brat as Sissy, but still a bit of a brat. Also, can he ground them? Is that a thing he can do? Does he have that power? Like, I get it's a boarding school, but I didn't know he could be like, hey, I know another teacher gave you the job to be reporters, but you're not allowed to do that tonight. So you're gonna be in trouble with me, and you're probably gonna get in trouble with the teacher that gave you that job. Suck it up. I honestly couldn't take any punishment seriously coming from a man with this pants to socks ratio, but whatever. Odd finds Millie and Tamia out in the yard crying and talking respectively, where they accidentally play Where's Waldo and discover Millie's bear hidden in one of the pictures of Sissy's bedroom. So obviously they think Sissy took it, and Odd promises to look into it. We then see Jim get attacked by the shadow of a now larger teddy bear, while Odd is over there investigating Sissy's room. Jim is questioned about who or what attacked him, where we see this shading error, where instead of just a shadow, you can see through to the scene behind the paper, but darker. We then hear Jeremy say this.
What happened to Sissy? It was kind of weird, don't you think?
My guy, make up your mind. You're literally the one that said it was a short circuit, so you're just there arguing with yourself at the moment. Odd sees the crude drawing of who attacked Jim, and somehow knows that it's obviously Xana and Millie's teddy bear from that. I don't know how, because the drawing was terrible, and it could have been a million and one different things. He was just like, Millie's teddy bear, Xana, it's big now, it attacked Jim. It's so obvious to me. Aelita's trapped in her virtual prison, and Yumi's at home getting ready for the prom. So it's up to the three boys to debate what to do, where we hear Odd say,
and even going back in time, if there's an accident, it's all over.
Which I found a little odd, because you see a lot of crazy shit happen throughout the series. Buildings and vehicles get destroyed, wires get cut, explosions go off. You see a lot of destruction. And every time that they go back in time, all of it's undone. So I don't know what he's talking about. But they decide that Odd's gonna go to Lyoko to investigate with Aelita, while Ulrich stays at school to keep an eye out. Ulrich says to say hi to Aelita for him, where Jeremy blushes very bright red. Again, remember, he is the first VTuber fanboy. We then get a 1:04 clip of Odd and Jeremy traveling to the supercomputer. I know, I timed it. I don't see why we needed that whole thing. But that 1:04 clip of nothing but the theme song playing and those boys skateboarding and scooting through the sewers gave me time to contemplate my own life choices. And I determined that I too need more adventures in my life, which is why I'm going on a cruise. I'm trying to film last week's video and this week's video at the same time. If things don't go correctly, there might be a gap week, so you'll have like the Poppy Playtime video and then a gap week and then this video. But I'm hoping to have like 1 week the Poppy, then the next week this. Hopefully. I don't have a lot of time. But back to the show. While they're preparing to send Odd to Lyoko, which the more I say it, the more it sounds like a cult's Kool-Aid transition, if you catch my drift. If we all partake of this drink, we too shall transcend and be sent to the promised Lyoko. Bottoms up. But anyway, while they're preparing to send Odd to Lyoko, Ulrich's back at school discovering giant footprints and torn down trees and fences, which means the bear is free. Aelita points out that Xana's probably going to go after his mortal enemies, which makes Ulrich worried for Yumi, so he goes running to her house. And while he's running to Yumi's house, Odd is in Lyoko protecting Aelita and fighting some of Xana's weird little fellas, where he has a random That's So Raven moment and has a vision of Aelita falling to her doom. Ulrich gets to Yumi's house and rings the bell, where she's in the bathtub, but apparently she can instantly get dressed because she gets out of the bathtub and is fully clothed and down the stairs by the third ring. And he's in a rush, so I know he's like ringing that quick, okay? What kind of Urza from Fairy Tail re-equipping bullshit is that? She just steps out of the bathtub and she's like, I'm done. Dried off, hair dried, fully clothed within 3 rings. I wish I could do that. We then see them get chased by the bear while Odd is still fighting some funky little guys in Lyoko. I mean, just look at some of these weird ass creatures that they fight in Lyoko. Come on, there's some funky little fellas in that list, okay? Odd's vision comes true and Aelita falls to her doom, but he jumps down and catches her. While they dangle there on a cliffside, surely facing their death, Aelita's face to face with a cave that conveniently leads them to the tower that they need to shut down Xana's plans this week. Meanwhile, the teddy bears rampaging through the city chasing Yumi and Ulrich, who apparently have enough time while being worried for their lives to be flustered by simply looking at each other. Watch.
That way!
Y'all don't have time for this shit. A cuddly kaiju is trying to squish you. Run, bitch! Odd and Aelita are told about the danger that their friends are in and to hurry up, to which they respond by walking very slowly through the cave. But that was short-lived because now they're being attacked by a damn Fushigi, of all things. Ulrich and Yumi decide that they should warn the school, so Yumi goes to warn the dorms, while Ulrich goes to warn the prom goers. At the prom, Ulrich bumps into Jim, who says this.
Oh,
Hey, Ulrich, you could have made a little effort. I don't believe how sloppy you look. Well, I'll let it go this time. Put it down to the company you keep. Try to chill out and have fun. You look like you're expecting a disaster.
And I'm gonna try to ignore the implications made by the company you keep line and really focus on the fact that this man truly told this boy he should have put more effort in. You want to talk about more effort? They could have tried to animate the crowd in the background, even just a tiny bit, you know, just some subtle movements here and there, not even asking for a lot. But no, instead Ulrich is walking past a bunch of cardboard standees in the background. There's honestly something a little unnerving about it to me, and I can't quite place it. They go to crown the beauty queen of the prom, and Ulrich hijacks the speakers to warn everybody about the giant teddy bear. And all the cardboard cutouts come to life just to laugh at him.
we are about to be attacked by a gigantic teddy bear.
Oh shit, they're alive? But Jim comes to his defense, saying that he saw it too, and that's what attacked him. But that's just met with more laughter, because he just sounds like a madman at that point. Sissy gets mad and calls the entire crowd idiots, and Ulrich a liar. But just as she finishes her rant, the teddy bear bursts through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Meanwhile in Lyoko, Odd defeats the evil Fushigi, and Aelita gets into the tower, where again, knowing her friends' lives are in danger, she takes her sweet-ass time. Ulrich is literally about to get squashed, but you know what? She needs her moment to have her diva fantasy, so go off. She then enters the super secret code. And first off, girl, move a little faster. Ulrich is about to be popped here. And I know his head is huge, but I feel like it's as fragile as an egg. Like, I feel like because it's so big, the bone, like, stretched to match the head, basically. So the bone is very thin. So let's wrap this up here. And secondly, what kind of password is that? That's like making your PlayStation password PlayStation. Like, girl, what are we doing? Like, maybe if you strengthen your password, Xana wouldn't be able to hijack these towers every other day. But she stops him just in time to save Ulrich, and they rewind time, which is always only 24 hours at the maximum. And I need to know, how do you think that feels? Do you think they feel it? Does it hurt? Does it tickle? Do you lose any of the weight you gained that day? Do you unshit the shit you took? Why haven't any of them given their families the lotto numbers? You know, important questions. Ulrich gets a second chance to accept Millie's invitation to the prom, to both make her feel better than she did in the first go-round, and to simply spite Sissy. And I can't blame him for that. Speaking of Sissy, she gets mad that he accepts her invitation, and Ulrich claps back with one of the nerdiest insults I've ever heard in my life.
What? But, Ulrich, you're gonna go with that silly baby?
That's right, I sure am. But don't worry. When your brain gets another neuron or two, maybe I'll go out with you, too.
You already
recording, Tamia, I hope.
You bet I am. This is a scoop.
And we all get a good laugh at Sissy's humiliation. But that's the episode. Now, going back to what I said earlier, the stakes fluctuate insanely in this show. One episode, they're fighting a teddy bear who's going after the people that its owner has a personal, grievance against. And the literal next episode, they're fighting against a nuclear explosion. I'm not even making that up. One episode, they got a bootleg version of the movie Speed. The next episode, it's an evil vending machine. Xana can't make up his mind if he wants to be a supervillain or a minor inconvenience for one person in particular. But that's Code Lyoko for you. But that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching because I really enjoyed making it. Like I said, Code Lyoko was one of my favorites growing up, but as somebody who hung out with his older cousins a lot, I would have to be like, yeah, no, Code Lyoko is so dumb, right? Then I would close my door, turn off the lights, and watch Code Lyoko, To be fair, that's how I watched the Powerpuff Girls, Cardcaptor Sakura, Sailor Moon, things like that. That's how I watched a lot of things that, that guilt watch. Even though now I'm like, I don't care. I will watch what I want to watch. If you think it's too feminine or, too dumb, I don't care. If I'm enjoying it, I'm good. But yes, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and bing bong the ding dong down below to be alerted to when I make a new video. But until next time, why not check out some of my other stuff? I have some more fever dreams, some Florida some story times, randomness, some let's plays. I have a little something for everybody. And while you're at it, why not share one of your favorite videos of mine with your friends? We could always use more friends on the channel. But until then, bye! Here we are, going far to save all that we love. If we give all we got, then we'll make it through. Here we are. I'm sorry.